welcome back to Life with Isa. And if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Isabella, and today we're going to be showing you the tour of my garden. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the first part of our tour we're going to do is our beds. So our beds were first supposed to be a strawberry patch, but as you can see, we have some of these other plants, which are tomatoes. These are volunteer plants because they just started growing without us planting the seeds or planting the plant. And then we have some strawberries here, and then we have a big strawberry bush right here, which is our pine berries. Basically, they're like yellow strawberries with red seeds on them. And then over here we have just a bit of lettuce, not too much, and a lot of tomatoes. We got this from our compost because somebody put some tomatoes that were good and had seeds in them, and then they started to grow because the tomato seeds were there. So on to the next part, which is we have some yellow beans. We have harvested these beans before, and we've eaten these beans before, and they're really big and much more flavorful than the ones you get from the store. Also, here we have a little sweet potato right in the middle of all our beans. And then we have our lettuce patch. Some of them are bolting, as you can see, but we have really good lettuce, really big. It saves a lot of money from getting store-bought lettuce. This lettuce, we haven't bought store-bought anymore because of our lettuces here. Now we have our peppers in the back here. We have some jalapenos. We have just some peppers here, and then we have bell peppers over here, and then back there, those kind of flat bushes you see there, that's our honeydew right there. And then we have our watermelon that kind of have the coral shaped leaves. And then moving on to our cucumbers, we have some seed-grown cucumbers right here, and then we have another volunteer plant, which is a pumpkin or some sort of squash that came out of our compost when we put compost and mulch into our soil for the plants to grow. And then here we have some of our bigger cucumbers. It's taller than me. We've gotten about 5 or 6 cucumbers so far from these. We actually have 2 cucumber plants here, but they're kind of squished together. But we have 2 cucumber plants, and they're growing really nice. And then here we have our spinach. We actually took some spinach out. If you see those little holes right there, we just pulled some spinach out and ate that. And then we have 1 row of spinach left. And we have another volunteer tomato here. And we just have a lot of tomatoes because they just keep on growing. We can't stop the tomatoes. And then we have 5 tomato plants here. So this one's really big, and then these ones are here. We haven't got any tomatoes. We haven't gotten any tomatoes so far, but they're looking really nice. We can see a little bit of tomatoes starting to grow here, and I'm super excited to harvest those ones. And then here, so I just wanted to point this out, that we have some just wild things growing. So we have this. So this is a spicy mustard kale. We kind of snipped a bit of the leaves and tasted it, and it just tasted like that. And we did not plant this, and we've never eaten spicy mustard kale either, so it couldn't have grown out of our compost. So this just grew wild. So tell me if you actually grow this in your garden, or or have seen a plant like this in your home. Okay, so now let's move on to these. So these look kind of like cilantro, but these are carrots. So we have 4 rows of carrots and 2 rows. So we have our first 2 rows here, then we have our second 2 rows there. And comment down below if you want me to show you how to thin carrots. There's to my favorite vegetable, which is the cauliflower. We have these little like caterpillars eating their leaves. That's why you see those holes there. But overall, they're doing pretty good and they're pretty big so far. So I'm so happy about the cauliflowers because this is one of my favorites. And then here we have our onions. So this is our scallions, aka green onion. And then we have our actual onion bulb right here. And then we have another volunteer tomato here. We have a lot of volunteer tomatoes because we eat tomatoes a lot, and then their seeds just go in the compost, so that's why we have so many. And then here is our corn. We planted these ones from seed, and they look so huge and big, like already. I'm like, wow. So moving on to some of our smaller pots. So we have more tomatoes here. Tomatoes, a lot of tomatoes. In our garden, we grow like 50% tomatoes. Okay, and then now we have these smaller pots over here where we have peppers, lettuce, spinach, we got some eggplant, and then over here we have some berries, and then in this section you see we have our herbs, which is our thyme, our Thai basil, so it's basically like a different kind of basil. And then we have some lemon balm and mint. They look very similar. That's because they're in the same family. Lemon balm, mint, and catnip are all in that herb family. And then we have some curled parsley over here. And then we have a few other transplant pots, but we have so many of them that I didn't want to show all of them. But that's mostly all of our garden. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel. Bye.